With property prices in the Costa Blanca lower than they were 7 years ago, is now the right time for holiday home hunters to dip their toes back into the water again. Hello, welcome to the Travel Show with me, Adir Depitan. This week we're in Alicante in southern Spain. This was once one of the most popular places in Europe to buy a holiday home. But back in 2007, Spain was hit hard by the financial crisis. The markets turned sour, leaving an estimated 1 million newly built homes unsold. But the cranes are now moving again, and the experts say the market is in recovery. And in a moment, I'm going to be finding out exactly what you can get for your money. But first of all, here's what else is coming up on today's show. We catch up with Ben Zand as he heads to China using a translation app to get around. But as he finds out, they don't always work perfectly.
Let's go for an easy one. Toilet. Beef ears. Here you go. Oh no, it had it. It did have restroom.
And Michelle Yana Chan has her global guide with top tips on some of the best events in the coming months. There's tangoing in Buenos Aires, a music festival in Budapest, and a huge motor rally in South Dakota. But first, the Costa Blanca is a 200-kilometre stretch of coastline that runs along the southeastern part of Spain, and it's one of Europe's most heavily visited areas. It's popular with both tourists and expats, and is full of pretty fishing villages and long sandy beaches. Some areas have taken advantage of the influx of visitors and built high-density resorts complete with high-rise apartments, hotels and nightclubs. This is where most visitors come to simply relax, sunbathe and party. We're in Alicante, where every year the week-long Jugueres de San Juan festival takes place. All over the city at the moment, giant statues like this one have been erected as part of the festival. And the highlight of the festivities comes when they're set on fire. Now, these statues contain a lot of political symbolism, but the traditional reason behind the fires is because it's an opportunity for the people to burn away the problems of the past. But Spain's economic problems haven't gone up in smoke. When the economic crisis hit Spain in 2008, it came hot on the heels of a property building boom, which at its peak saw Spain building more new homes than France, Germany and Italy combined. But the economic crisis left homes unsold, putting many developers out of business and the properties in the hands of the beleaguered banks. Mortgages dried up and the property market almost collapsed. But buyers are now coming back to the Spanish coast, and here on the Costa Blanca, there are signs that the property market is recovering. After 2008, some prices here dropped by up to 80%, and even now the price of many unsold flats are still around 50% less than they were before the crash. So what's an ático?
Ático is in the top floor.
The roof apartment.
The roof floor.
Estate agent Augustin Ramirez handles repossessed property owned by banks. The reasons people buy have also changed.
Before the crisis, we had quite a big proportion of buyers that bought as an investment. Nowadays, those buyers almost doesn't exist. We are now receiving some client interested in as an investment or looking for the capital gain and the rental because they see that the price is gonna starting to picking up. But that's just about 10% of the buyers. The rest is holiday makers. They want to spend holidays and retirement. It's a mixture of 50-50.
through and we'll have a look at the bedroom, see what you think. The view is absolutely great. Yeah.
We've only just met, but let's go in there.
Let's do it.
And foreign buyers like Linda Darwood from Brighton in the UK can still pick up a bargain. She's just purchased an apartment on this complex in Denia. Having known the area for over 20 years, she felt this was a good time and place for her to buy. Yeah, this is just...
I know. It's beautiful, isn't it?
It is lovely.
It's really unspoilt.
So why did you buy here in particular?
I think it's got a really good balance here between more real Spain. There's places you can go to that are like, that aren't, it's not particularly touristy.
So you didn't want the strip with all the music playing and everyone giving it and all that stuff?
Not now. No, it's just unspoilt, a lot of it. It's not as high rise. Yeah, I mean, why wouldn't you like it?
I mean, if you don't mind me asking, how much did you pay for your property?
I paid 69,000 euros.
69,000 euros, and what did you get for that?
I've got a brand new apartment, 2 bedrooms, 95 square metres, great big terrace, balcony, shared pools, children's pools.
This is good. Now, after seeing those apartments in Denia, I was really surprised at how little you can pay for a property here in Spain compared to other parts of Europe, especially London. But you know what? It's not all cheap as chips or banks selling off their repossessed stocks. Because if you're prepared to spend a little bit more money, just head along the coast where new builds are starting to spring up, which are targeted at the luxury end of the market.
Hi, Annie. How are you?
Hey, Mark.
Welcome to La Villa Paradise, welcome to Paradise Beach, and welcome to our development, La Villa Paradise in Villa Joyosa.
I like what you've done with the place.
Yeah, it's a good job. We've got 3 apartments left in this building, but the building in front, which are 27, they're all sold, and the townhouses which are under construction, we only have 2 left, and that's from plan, all off plan.
Wow. And yeah, who's buying these properties?
Well, it's probably here we've sold to date, it's probably 10 or 12 different nationalities. Majority being Northern Europeans, Scandinavians, Benelux, Belgians, Dutch. We have a lot of, quite a few Brits, and then we do have some Russians here too.
And why now? Why is it so popular at this moment in time?
Well, first of all, in the northern Costa Ring, anything between Alicante going up to Denia, this is one of the very few new developments. There are a couple of villas which are being built new, but there's hardly any development going around here. And there hardly has been any new development over the past 10 years.
Is that because of the financial crisis?
Yes,
yeah.
and that's still the case. I mean, if a Spanish developer would look to start building something, he wouldn't get any finance through the Spanish bank.
The developer for this site is one of the UK's largest. It used money from Britain to finance the building of this complex, as most financiers in Spain are still nervous about funding new building projects. So is it really a good time to buy? Spanish property expert Mark Stucklin thinks so.
The best stock, the bank stock, has already been sold. It's gone, and it was sold at very good prices over the last 3 or 4 years. Now the inventory for sale, whether it's bank repossession, is it's in places. It's stock that no one really wants. It's not really in the market. I don't think that it doesn't have much impact on. That's why average property prices seem to be increasing in Spain. If you want nice property, attractive property in attractive locations in Spain, we're in the period when it makes sense to buy. So long as you're aware of the transaction costs and you're not looking for quick profits. But yeah, I would say that probably of the attractive property prices won't go any lower.
Wow, this is pretty luxurious and spacious as well. So 8 years on from the crisis, Spain still has a long way to go before its economy is back on track. The advice seems to be now could be a good time to look at property here again. But remember to look for value for money rather than a bargain. And if it's an investment opportunity you're after rather than a holiday home, then it's probably best to look elsewhere. And if you're thinking of investing in a holiday home abroad, here's some things that you might want to consider before you take the plunge. Remember to take into account all the costs you might incur before even starting your property search. One thing you can be sure of is that you won't just be paying the price tag tied to your dream house or apartment. There'll be legal bills, taxes, service charges and utilities to pay too, whether you're living in the property year round or just a few weeks every year. Make sure that you use only qualified professionals to protect your interests and make the purchase of your new holiday home a stress-free experience. Some estate agents are a good source of advice. Only negotiate with ones that are officially registered and hold a license. Also try to go on the recommendations of people who have bought in the area before. And finally, don't forget, if you're planning on advertising and renting your holiday home out when you're not using it, you could end up with a tax demand from revenue collection agencies in both destinations. It's really important to understand what the rules are before you head to the estate agent to sign on the dotted line. Okay, it's time to find out what else is happening around the world. Here's your travel update. To South Africa, where a surfer had a lucky escape this week from the jaws of one of the world's most dangerous predators. Knocked off his board by a great white, Mick Fanning can be seen punching his attacker during the televised finals of a world surfing competition on Jeffreys Bay in the Eastern Cape province. He told waiting reporters he's happy to be alive. Also in South Africa this week, these amazing pictures have been captured on a rhino at a local game reserve. A camera has been attached to its horn, a pain-free process that is aiming to protect these endangered creatures from poachers. A British team of scientists developed the system, which allows wardens on site to monitor the animals 24 hours a day by using a combination of GPS trackers and hidden cameras. And finally, a new hotel has opened in Japan, and it's run almost entirely by robots. Yes, that's right, robots. There's even a female humanoid and a dinosaur robot at reception to welcome and check in guests. The Henna Hotel, which in English means weird hotel, has facial recognition, which allows guests to enter their room without having to use a key. Still to come on the travel show, Ben heads to China to try his hand at translation apps that claim to help with the language barrier.
Not cooperate with us. Very happy.
Okay, she says, do not cooperate with us. Very happy. I'm pretty sure that's not what she said.
The Travel Show, your essential guide wherever you're heading.
Hello, I'm Michelle Yana-Chan, your global guide with top tips on the world's best events in the coming month. There'll be dance moves from Budapest to Buenos Aires, as well as some grueling challenges in Sweden. But first, never mind that it's summer in the French Alps. Courchevel is hosting the 25th Ski Jumping World Cup on August 13th and 14th, bringing together the world's best in both men and women categories. The public can enter a virtual jumping competition to measure themselves against the real talent. And if you don't need snow to ski jump, who needs water for a boat race? In Australia's desiccated heartland, the Henley-on-Todd happens on August 15th, held on a dry riverbed. In the 1960s, the town of Alice Springs proposed a regatta resembling something like the one in Henley-on-Thames in the UK, in spite of the fact that the nearest large body of water was 1,500 kilometres away. The sandy bed of the Todd River becomes a racetrack for a fleet of handmade boats. In the USA, the Central Park Film Festival plays from August 25th through 29th in New York City. The open-air screenings are free and will happen come rain or shine. This year's movies include The Blues Brothers and Superman 2. They're dancing in the Argentine capital in August. The Buenos Aires Tango Festival showcases live music in the city's streets and squares. There are concerts, free dance classes, film screenings, and en masse open-air milongas. Plus, the World Dance Championship pits tango's best couples against each other. The festival season is in full swing across Europe too. Hungary's capital, Budapest, hosts the week-long Sigay Festival. Nearly 500,000 come to the location on Obadai Island in the River Danube. Starting August 10th, hundreds of artists will take to the dozens of stages. Florence and the Machine, Robbie Williams and Kings of Leon top the bill. Look out for the BK Europe stage, which will showcase some of the continent's most promising musicians. On August 28th, the Aarhus Festival begins in Denmark, with a free concert headlined by local musicians Stefan Brandt and Thomas Helmig. There are also performances by the Royal Danish Theatre, a series of concerts called Trio, which pull together world-class musicians in debut performances, a one-day improv jazz festival, a cabaret nightclub. The festival continues through September 6th. Across the Kattegat from August 8th is the three-day Dalsland Canoe Marathon in West Sweden, a 55-kilometre course crossing the lakes and waterways of this region of wilderness with a chance of seeing elk, deer or moose. About 1,000 competitors take part, lining up to start at the same time. This is Sweden's largest canoe event and one of the world's most rigorous. When you reach the finish line, there's a crayfish party to celebrate. In the US, in South Dakota, the 75th Sturgis Motorcycle Rally draws 500,000 spectators. Beginning August 3rd, the rally passes through the Black Hills from Deadwood to Custer State Park, with a spectacular route, including the Needles Highway, Iron Mountain Road, and Spearfish Canyon. As well as motorcycle shows, there'll be demo rides and races. That's my global guide this month. Let me know what's happening in the place where you live or where you love. We're on email and across social media. Until next time, happy travelling.
And to end this week, it's time to check in with Ben Zan, the tech-mad traveller who we've sent to China to see if he can navigate his way around this vast country armed only with a smartphone and some travel-friendly apps.
Hi! Hello, Nikki.
This week, he's in Fen Huang, so let's see how he gets on.
It's a beautifully preserved ancient city. Again, I'm hoping to use my smartphone to get the most out of my visit. But it's time to up the ante.
This time, I don't have a tour guide to show me around this crazy place, but what I do have is some translation apps on my phone that I'm going to try to use to hold my first conversation in Chinese and find out what is good to do in this place. This is going to be interesting.
I'm going to start out by trying Google Translate, an app that knows 90 different languages. And it isn't long before I found an unsuspecting guide from the Miao ethnic minority group to try it out on.
Let's see how we do. So you cannot speak English? No? Okay, brilliant. That's cool. Hello. What is your name?
你叫什么名字？吴宁。
Wuni. What is your favorite color?
红色。
Red. Very nice. Oh, cool. That is my favorite color as well. Okay, brilliant. This is working. I like your hat very much, and it has jingles. What does your hat mean? It's changed hat to heart, which is a whole new different type of meaning. I like your heart very much. It has jingles. What does your heart mean?
Basic translations can be done offline, but your phone will need to access Google servers for the admittedly slightly sketchy voice recognition function. Google's generally blocked in China, but the Great Firewall isn't impenetrable.
How would you rate this app? Is it good? Is it bad? Should I now throw my phone into the river?
现在把我的手机带。
Yes, I got a smile.
不用扔到河里，我们合作的非常愉快，谢谢。
Do not cooperate with us. Very happy.
Okay, okay, she says, do not cooperate with us. Very happy. I'm pretty sure that's not what she said. Ni hao. Ni hao.
Time to try something else.
High five, high five. No, she's doing a high five. Okay, no worries, no worries. I have an app on my phone called Weigo, which allows me in real time to translate from Chinese letters to English letters. Let's go for an easy one. Toilet. Do we have toilet? Beef ears. It just seems to be going crazy. There you go, restroom. There you go, restroom. Hygienic, all ones, life, one number. All right.
Not a strong start, but actually, there did seem to be one type of translation the app excelled at. Food.
So I now know they have tofu with rice, pickled radish, appetizing pickled vegetables. That's actually amazing. It's definitely good with food. It translates food very quickly, which is good because I am very hungry.
My time in Yunnan province has come to an end. My smartphone's definitely made it a fun experience.
I would like to buy a ticket to Tongren.
But there's no denying that the places I've been to were a bit touristy. Now, it's time to go off the beaten track.
Yeah, so they've taught me absolutely none of these moves.
Now, sadly, that's all we got time for this week, but make sure you join us next week for the third part of Ben's journey through China, when he's going to be heading to a beautiful remote village in rural China, where locals have been given free smartphones to stay connected with the outside world.
Stand a bit shorter.
Oh, stand shorter, stand shorter. Okay, okay. I'll try. I'm not even tall.
And Krista heads to the British countryside.
Cheers.
For a cork-popping adventure in the southeast of England, discovering the tourism that's grown around the booming English wine industry.
And it has aromas reminiscent of English hedgerows. You know, kind of elderflower, nettle, and as well as some tropical fruit on it, this one.
So join us for that if you can, but in the meantime, from me, Adia Depitan, and all the Travel Show team here in Alicante, it's hasta luego.